Okay, we should be close. Okay, our finished size is 52, we're 53, that's okay. So I'll just break these two edges. Okay, now we'll readdress this size here and get the last thou off this so we're down to our press fit dimension. What I'm going to do, once I've dialed in our 3 thou, we're going to come along to about here towards the end, and then I'll just give it probably another thou of end feed as we're cutting along, and you'll see the reason for this when we go to press the thing together. It'll act like a guide. Okay, I'm just going to ease it in, probably another thou now, thou and a half. So from here onwards, it's a smaller diameter. This will assist with our press fit operations. Okay, I've just put a bit of rod in the drill chuck just to catch the part. I don't really feel like grabbing it, but today. There we have it. So we'll get these sharp edges knocked off the back here, and this can be pressed into our hub. That drill ran off a fair bit back there, so lucky we're 100th thou undersize on where we need to be. Okay, when we faced this end off, because that drill did run off a fair bit towards the end of the hole, I did take a light boring cut through, so we're 1mm 40th thou under our finished diameter just there. That was to make sure that we still had enough meat there to clean up with, so it's looking good. So as I explained earlier, when we machined this outside, we were coming across there, and then probably around here I wound the tool in an extra thou or two, couple of thou, just to reduce that diameter. And what that's for, when we go to press this together, goes in, it's already started. We're not trying to press the slug into the hub. You know, if you don't have that lead on, it's very difficult to get it started without it going cockeyed. So that just makes it a bit easier. So let's just plonk it in and then press it down to depth. So what I might do now, there's two ways we could do this. We could either press this in now and grip it on the end here, put a centre in there and finish the features on the other side. Or we can grip this in the reverse jaws and rough out the features on the other side. I think actually we'll go that way. We'll pop this in the reverse jaws. Well, not the reverse jaws, the outside jaws. Inside jaws. That's the one. Well, it's easy to grip, that's the main reason, and we can rough off the outside and just remove a bit of material that needs to be removed off this face, as there's a bit of a hollow gets machined in there. So we'll do that. clear some of this fluff out of the way. Okay. Okay, so as you can see, gripping the recess there on the inside jaws enabled us good access to really lay into it and chomp out this recess. So I think what we'll do now is we'll go over to the press. Our part still locates, so we'll push that home, and then we'll either weld it or we'll turn it back around this way, finish the features off this side, well close to size, and do a weld prep. I think we might do that, press it in and then do the weld prep on this side. Okay, so over to the press. Okay, so we just press the part in till it's 1/2 inch above the surface, so I'm just using a bit of tool steel as a guide. And we're there. Okay, so I think what we'll do next, we'll get a decent weld put in around there. We'll preheat this of course first, and then looking at the other side, if we look at the other part, where I've got this raised section here, it's pretty close to this raised section here. So once the other side is welded, we'll machine in a weld, we'll probably remove some of this, machine in a weld prep so we can get a good weld on this side too. Then we can duplicate this angled face that comes up here on here. Then I can just machine out all of the rest of it to make it look the same as this side. So that's the plan. So we'll get a weld around our part now. Little issue here, this outside ring is mild steel, so I'm just going to guess it's like a 250 grade plate. This inner part, this harder part, this is totally unknown, we don't know what it is, so we're going to treat this like a pre-hard 4140. So that means we've got to preheat, probably about 350 degrees. We'll run our weld. Now, you're supposed to really then give it a proper post heat. I think somewhere around, I could be wrong, but at least around 500 degrees, and let it soak for an hour. But, I don't really have the facilities at this point to do that. If we had a heat treat oven, we could do it that way, but we don't have one yet. So we'll do our weld and we'll give it a post heat, and then we'll just throw it in the toaster oven, just so the thing don't cool too quickly, as it is a pretty cool day here today. So just checking with a heat gun now. It says 11 degrees, 12, 13 degrees. So we'll get that up to about 350. We'll run a weld around it. Now you have to use, you can use your MIG, or we're going to use low hydrogen welding rods, which is what's recommended for this type of material, the 4140 type material. So let's get a bit of heat into it. Okay, I give it a bit of welly with the torch, and I actually took it up to a dull red. So she's just on the cool down now. So that's 408, 440 up there. So we're in the 400 degrees C range. So the rods that we're going to be using, these are a WIA rod, 16 TC, 2.5 millimeter. They're a really good rod, these. Okay, so we'll get a weld going on in there now. Now, I don't know if this is going to work, but I'll give it a go. I'm not really set up good for welding shots, so we'll put your little lens down. And I'll put mine on. Okay, we'll give that a bit of a post heat now, and then we'll get it cooling off very slowly. Okay, as I don't have a welding blanket to wrap this thing up in, I'll just throw them in the toaster oven. That will allow, well, that's the best I can do for slow cooling. Okay, we'll let that slowly cook away in there for 3/4 of an hour and see how she goes.